1979. Don Coscarelli released his third film. The movie was entitled Phantasm. Little did he know that this was to be his most famous production. Phantasm captured a ghost story essence, a mystery with surreal undertones, and a mixture of comedy and action. The story tells about two brothers, Jody and Mike. They are all alone after the death of their parents. Jody's best friend, Tommy, decides to have sex on a cemetery. But Tommy gets stabbed. As Mike spies on the funeral, he spots the mysterious mortician, Tall Man. Mike discovers that Tall Man is doing some strange things at the Morningside Manor. As the movie progresses, he's trying to convince both Jody and Jody's friend, Reggie, to find out the truth. What I personally like about this movie is how it dares to mix different genres. Tall Man represents the fear of death and afterlife. This is a rather dark and sinister take on a character. No wonder why Tall Man became such an early cult figure. Also, we never really know much about this mystery man. But this mortician has a lot of dangerous traps and foul play. This leads to exciting and awesome encounters. The silver ball is the most famous and recurring danger. Equipped with a drill, strong enough to drill through your brain, this ball is badass. As a low-budget film, Phantasm works really good in visual effects. Yellow blood, cut off fingers, and funny-looking rubber fly all was made up from Coscarelli's mind. The cast is doing a convincing work. Michael Baldwin was very impressive. He was only around 12 during the making of his film, but did an outstanding job. Bill Thornberry as Jody is alright. Maybe his character wasn't too deep to create something interesting, but he did his job. Reggie Bannister as Reggie would reappear in all the other films, mostly as a comic relief, but Reggie is perfect as a badass hero. For that reason, he went on to become the leading role in the third installment. But you can never mention Phantasm without mentioning Angus Scrimm. Tall Man himself is played by the incredible Angus Scrimm. As Tall Man is a more intelligent creation, he transformed to the embodiment of death and is himself unable to die. With an echoing voice and a classic portrayal, he became a modern, classic villain. There's something in Phantasm that brings my mind back to the horror movies from the 50s. The creepy cemeteries and fear of death reminds me a bit of the classic Dracula and other stories. In these films, the atmosphere adds just as much as the characters. And something that is necessary for atmosphere is the music. Fred Myrow composed one of the most interesting tunes in Phantasm. The theme holds a variation of tones, and you can pinpoint location where it sounds like Goblin from Italian giallos. Sometimes the movie feels a bit weak and thin. Not sure if it's supposed to be confusing, but at moments I'm not sure what is dream and what is real, or if a scene matters to the whole picture. But I have to admit that it adds to the whole universe of Phantasm. The film truly is unique and got its style. For this reason, it's sad that the movie isn't bigger than it is. The bigger fans of horror sees this as a cult film, but it should have more attention, as few people has ever heard about it. The movie receives 4 of 5 in a star rating. This is truly in Robin's taste. It also stands as one of my favorite horrors, alongside with Candyman and Lost Highway. The next installment of the series, Phantasm 2, will be the topic of my upcoming review.